Hey guys, it's Candle and it's time for a new collection update, new gaming pickups video, and I have a decent stack here. I'm actually waiting on a couple more things, so those will be on the next one because I want to get this out there right now. So first up, we're going to start off with the new releases. First one is the Alan Wake Remastered, and it took me a while to actually find this. I ended up having to order it online because apparently nobody had it in stock. Specifically, I wanted the PS5 version too because it was taking advantage of the new DualSense controller, and I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed playing through this game again. I did a Let's Play of it like 10 plus years ago, or not 10 plus, more like 9, 10 years ago. It was actually my first console Let's Play. So, of course, that was the Xbox 360 version. So, yeah, this is the first time on PlayStation. Really, really enjoyed this. I really hope they pick up and continue and give us an Alan Wake 2 sometime in the near future. But yes, definitely glad to have that. Funnily enough, though, it doesn't have the product placement that the original had. The original had Energizer batteries to power your flashlights, and there was a very prominent Verizon ad. Not present in this one, but it doesn't include both of the DLC packs from the original game, the Signal and the Rider, both of which continue after the end of the main game. Beyond that, since this was the month of spooks, Alan Wake is psychological horror, not really scary, but something that was a bit scarier is the Dark Pictures anthology House of Ashes. This is the third in the Dark Pictures anthology series, and the third out of 4 for what they're calling Season 1. So we'll see if it ever gets a Season 2. It is at least getting one more. So this is from the same people that did Until Dawn on the PS4. Previous 2 games in this series were Man of Medan and Little Hope. And I've enjoyed them all, but Man of Medan and Little Hope kind of, set the bar low, kind of disappointed me a little bit, especially Little Hope. But House of Ashes does not disappoint. They are back in full swing. This is the best game this team has done since Until Dawn, I would say. So out of the 3 Dark Pictures games, this one is definitely like the best one. Definitely glad I got that. But keeping the horror train rolling again because Halloween was last week, I finally picked up Eternal Darkness Sanity's Requiem. This is the classic survival horror game for the GameCube, and it's not actually in here right now because it's in my GameCube. I'm currently playing it. I haven't gotten too far into it, but I am enjoying what I am playing. I do know like how this game messes with you, and if you don't, I don't want to spoil it because this game it's a treat, especially if you're playing on an old school CRT like I am currently doing. So definitely glad to have this in my collection finally. But that's not the only GameCube game I got. I also finally picked up another copy of Metroid Prime. This is coming off of my high of Metroid Dread. I really enjoyed that game, but it was very difficult. I will not play it again. I beat it, but I'm not going to play it again. Metroid Prime, however, I had this back in the day, but I was like, I'm not really enjoying it. So I went ahead and got rid of my copy. I traded it in. And so yeah, finally got another copy. This isn't my only copy though, because I do have the Wii version in the trilogy collection, but I am glad to have the GameCube version as well. I still need to get Metroid Prime 2 Echoes to complete my collection, and then there was like a Metroid Prime and Metroid Prime 2 bundle that was done, I believe, as a pack-in for specific GameCubes, as well as there was also a Wind Waker and Legend of Zelda Wind Waker and Metroid Prime bundle pack-in as well to complete the collection, to really complete it. But speaking of completing collections, another game I used to own that did not currently have, but really miss on the GameCube is Mario Kart Double Dash. And with this and Metroid Prime, I now have every GameCube game I owned as a kid. The only one I'm missing I didn't actually own, I just borrowed it from a friend, and that was Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. That is the only one I used to have that don't currently, but again, I didn't technically own it. However, what is interesting about this version of Mario Kart Double Dash compared to the copy I had as a kid was this includes a bonus disc with playable demos. And there's actually a couple different variations of the cover for the one that includes the bonus disc, but this is the one I ended up picking. So this is actually a 2-disc set. You've got Mario Kart Double Dash, and then you've got the bonus disc with a whole bunch of different demos on there. And some of these are for games I've never played, so I'm definitely interested in checking that out. Unfortunately, my GameCube, the CMOS battery is dead, and my soldering skills are non-existent. and unfortunately the CMOS battery is soldered in, so I can't just swap it out very easily. I can still play games on it. It's just the clock in the game in the system doesn't tick forward unless like the system's actually running. So it kind of sucks in that respect. But beyond that, I did also finally pick up a new big box PC game, and this is one that's been on my list for quite a while, and I just finally got around to it, mostly because I have a feeling that the value of this item in particular is going to not necessarily skyrocket, but it's going to get a decent boost here in a couple weeks. And that is because this is the Wheel of Time, the video game. And this is based on the fantasy series by Robert Jordan, the fantasy book series by Robert Jordan. And if you're unaware, Amazon Prime is doing a live action adaptation. They are doing a TV show with a first season set to debut here in a couple weeks on the 19th. I am like hella stoked for that. So I'm taking a look at the game here, and I've never really played the game before. I don't know too much about it. I played the demo back in the day, but I just remember it being very weird. And looking at the box, this is definitely a really weird game. It's not going to be a very good adaptation of the books. I can already tell you that just on reading the back cover. But first off, this box is hella weird, even for a big box game. It looks like a normal big box game, complete with an embossed cover with like a window here for, like a gatefold, except this isn't a gatefold. This is like a plastic insert that's glued to the inside of the front of the box. And when you take a look at the spine, the title is actually, upside down and backwards from what you normally would see on a big box game. Normally you see them, they're like this. But in this case, it's actually upside down. Now, what's really, really weird is this actually is a gatefold box, but the gatefold is on the back. It's very rare, I would say, to see gatefolds on the back. Usually they're on the front because, you pick up the game, it's got a gatefold, you open it up and you see what it's about and stuff like that. In this case, the gatefold is actually in the back. I don't know why they did that. It even says, open flap for more information. But yeah, this seems like it's not even remotely canon with the books. I don't know when exactly it takes place. I would assume some point after The Eye of the World. But you gotta remember, this game came out in, 2000-ish? Let me see if I can find a date on it. 1998. This game came out in 1998. So at this point, the book series was only, 5-6 books along? Robert Jordan was still, well alive at that point. He didn't die until 9 years later in 2007. But yeah, this is basically it's a war for power, except it doesn't take place during the Age of Legends, because you have things like you've got 4 different factions in here and like 4 different main characters. It's a single player game. There's multiplayer available. It pins itself as a first person strategy, or first person action strategy game. I have no idea what that means. I'm very interested to see how this actually plays. But you got 4 different factions here. You have Elena of the Aes Sedai, who is the Amarlin seat, which is not one of the known Amarlins from the books. You have the leader of the Children of the Light, or the White Cloaks. He doesn't get a name. You have Ishamael of the Forsaken, who is in the books. And you have the Hound, which is another completely original character, who is the shadowing being and the very essence of the cursed city of Shadar Logoth made flesh, which is like completely way out there. I have no idea what this game is really about, but it takes place in the world of Robert Jordan's The Wheel of Time. So huge fan of those books. Definitely looking forward to the TV show. So definitely intrigued to see this game and see what it's about. So I have to figure out whether or not this will actually run on my computer, because this is a Windows 95, 98 game. Remember, it came out in 1998, and it can sometimes be hit and miss on games like that. So I'm definitely going to have to see if this will run on Windows 10, or if I'm going to have to try to do something else to get it to play or something. I have no idea. But that's not the only big package I got. It is the only big box video game, though. The only big box computer game. But I did get something else that came in a rather large box. And this has been another thing that's been on my list for a long time. And it's unfortunately a game I cannot play, at least not this version of. I picked up the Final Fantasy XI. This is the hard drive kit that originally debuted in the West for the PS2. So this came with a 40 gigabyte hard drive. This is complete, by the way. And unfortunately, the hard drive is not sealed. and unfortunately it does not include the network adapter needed to actually install the hard drive to the PS2, so I can't like plug that into my fat PS2 just to have it in there. But what was sealed, however, interestingly enough, is the game itself. Final Fantasy XI PS2, completely sealed, original seal and everything, which is very, very odd, I would think. Not only that, but it has the game sealed, and it also came with the very thick instruction manual, so thick they couldn't put it in the game box itself. So as a result, what they did was they shipped the game in a cardboard sleeve, basically a double wide cardboard sleeve. Now, what is really interesting about this that I didn't realize at the time is this game got a number of expansions, and only 3 of them actually got physical releases on the PS2. Because the first one, Rise of the Zillart, was included with the base game when it came to the West. Now, in Japan, they launched Final Fantasy XI, then came Rise of the Zillart, and it was a completely separate entity, a separate box and everything. But this actually includes it. And if you can actually see on the back here, it includes Rise of the Zillart, Play Online, and Tetramaster, the game from Final Fantasy IX. So there is no physical version of Rise of the Zillart as a standalone or as a separate expansion pack in the West. That is Japan only, or it might be in Europe. I don't know. I don't know how this thing was debuted in Europe, but in North America at least, there is no separate thing. There are, however, separate ones for the next 3 expansions: Chains of Promathia, Treasures of At Urgan, and Wings of the Goddess. The 5th expansion, the last one to get a physical release, was Seekers of Adolin. As far as I know, as far as I can find out, that only got a physical release on the Xbox 360. Now, of course, the PS2 servers and the Xbox 360 servers are no longer available. They have been shut down for the last 5 years or so. So you cannot play this game on consoles anymore. The only version of where the servers are still running is PC. I do not currently own a subscription to it. At some point I will, because it is the only mainline Final Fantasy game that I have not spent much time with. I played about 5 minutes on the Xbox 360 and turned it off because I was not enjoying it at the time. And it was hella hard to install in the first place. I remember it being a massive headache, and apparently it's that way with like every single version of the game, including PC. So yeah, but since I decided it was finally time to expand my collection, I did also go ahead and pick up the Chains of Promathia expansion pack. Now, I am not happy with the copy I got here because it is different from the one that was advertised on eBay. Like all the stuff that's messed up with the cover art here, the wear and tear, that's different. This was not like this in the images shown. And in fact, I'm certain it was specifically a different version shown, because you see the little line of wear and tear here. Not only was that not on the one shown in images, but there was a similar line like that on the top, on the front here. Instead of like this damage in the corners, it was that little line there. And I'm like, that's fine. I don't mind that. The fact that this is like screwing up the PlayStation 2 badging, and not only that, but it extends around the spine, is driving me crazy, to the point that I actually went back on eBay. Not only did I leave poor feedback for this person, but I went ahead and ordered another copy that is supposed to be pristine, so that should be coming sometime soon as well. That will replace this copy. This one I'll probably save the case itself, because it's still in fairly good condition. It's just the cover art that's not. But the disc itself is scratched to hell. Again, it doesn't really matter so much since you can't play it anyways, but it is really annoying. And but it does include the manual, so you take some, you lose some. It wasn't too expensive. It was only like $10, I think, I want to say. So I'm not out too much money, but I'll probably gut it, save the case, and trash everything else, because I don't plan on reselling this. There's no point to do this. I'm not going to put this on eBay or anything like that. And if I tried to take it into my local like retro shop, I doubt they would take it in the first place, because again, you can't play it. It's a subscription-based MMO where it's not sealed, so the registration is probably already been used. And even if it hadn't been, again, you can't actually play it because the servers are dead. But beyond that, I did also pick up a copy of Treasures of At Urgan, which is a little bit tougher to find than Chains of Promathia, but not as bad. And this copy, you know, is a lot better in terms of care. It's almost pristine. I did also order Wings of the Goddess, which was the third one. That one's a lot harder to find. That was the final one to be released on the PS2. It's a lot harder to find, and pretty much the only good condition copies I could find that were complete were sealed, so I ended up ordering one. Thankfully, I was able to wait and get it for a much reduced price, but that is still on its way. It should be here in the next couple days, so that'll get tacked on to the next video. Other than that, the only other PS2 release of Final Fantasy XI I'm missing is the Vana'diel 2008 collection, which includes the base game, Rise of the Zillar, Chains of Promathia, Treasures of Aht-Urhgan, and Wings of the Goddess. So it includes the base game plus the 4 expansions up to that point. That is the last version of the game to be released on PS2. So other than that, once I get Wings of the Goddess, my Final Fantasy on PS2 collection is pretty much complete. The PS2 set of my Final Fantasy collection will be complete. And I am like very, very glad about that. Because even though I can't play this game, I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan. So anyways, that is it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Please remember to comment, rate, and subscribe. Oh, and one last thing before I go. I am planning on coming back to do a Let's Play for Final Fantasy VI, finally. But I am waiting on the Pixel Remaster to come out before I do that. The Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster is supposed to be out next week. I would expect the Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster to be out sometime in December, maybe January. So look forward to a Let's Play at that point. Anyways, see ya!